Hi everyone, I'm Miss Darling, and welcome to my channel. We're gonna, man, it's gonna be a lot. Um, this channel is definitely for 18 and above. I will be cursing sometimes. I will be talking about plenty of sex stories, sex education, um, and y'all parents not finna come for me. So yeah. And if you know me in real life, you thought you did. Okay, and I have this new mic. I, okay. Also, I am neurodivergent. So no, part of that is ADHD. I'll be, I'll listen. I'm gonna have to edit this motherfucker crazy because when I tell you I go on tangents, honey. If you, I mean, I be going deep though. So check out my podcast, because I be going deep. I am a little info about me. I'm someone who loves controversial, honey. I love it. I love to talk about things that people are uncomfortable with because I feel like in order to grow, you have to be able to expand your mind and also just be open minded. You have to be open minded to knowledge, period. And so I'm a truth seeker. Okay. I've been wanting to make a YouTube video for so long, but I have been so anxious. Like, I'm also suffering from that little imposter syndrome. I don't know if you know what that is. If you don't, it's basically when you really just don't believe that you constantly have the mindset that you're a fraud. That, if you are trying to create content, for example, you're always comparing yourself to other people and you're like wondering, like, can I actually do it? Can I? And I'm just like, I have to nip that in the bud now. It's 2024. I'm about to be 24. There are no excuses anymore. Anything I want, I need to be going for it. And whether I fail, at the end of the day, failure is something I have to remind myself constantly, right? Is that failure doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean that I'm not good at it. It means that I need to keep trying until I succeed. Until I succeed, right? So, listen, we about to get it, y'all. We about to get it. Um, yeah. And so I did want to do a quick topic today for my intro video, and that is regarding um, so I'm gonna start my topics with a quote typically, right? So my quote today is, and it's a long quote. I made it. Okay, y'all. Okay, and to explain my neurodivergence too, um, I've been called a nerd. I'm not a nerd. I'm a dork. Okay, meaning I have specific interests that I can go on and on about. I'm quirky. So social interactions, it can go multiple different ways. It really depends on how I'm feeling, if I feel comfortable, if I'm overstimulated. Um, yeah, like I used to be a what's it called? I took that one personality test when I was younger, and I was coming in my head. The ending is three letters. The ending was JP for me. Oh no, it's four. I was an INFP, introverted. I forgot what N stood for, but feelings and perceiving person. I haven't done the test again, but I really do need to because essentially I keep being told it depends on who I meet, right? If you know me deeply, you know that I'm an introvert, but a lot of people tend to think that I'm an extrovert because maybe if they're around me when I am hyper or I am deep into the activity that I love, but I guess now I would definitely consider myself an ambivert because it definitely depends on what I'm doing. and who I'm around, I can, example, I can go to, and it also depends on energy. I am 1,000% an empath, and I don't mean that in the way of, I'm just, I don't mean it in the way that a lot of people have been claiming. I actually am spiritual, and um, the one of the reasons that I've actually been in a lot of abusive relationships, like, and not even just romantically, is because I tend to take on other people's pain and I want to help them, and I am overly empathizing with them, and I'm also empathizing with them more than myself. The way you know you're an empath is that it's not, you don't just empathize with them when they're going through something bad, right? You know you are a true empath when someone has done something terrible and you are still able to find a way to understand them. But when you get older, you have to be able to realize, yeah, I understand. I understand you have trauma. I understand you were abused. I understand, your personality is like this, or you have a hard time understanding, or da 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 da. I understand, but that doesn't give you an excuse to continuously behave the way you are or to do this action that is hurting me or others. And so that's when I had to step back, right? Because sometimes you can over empathize. Um, yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I did forget what I was talking about. Hey, that's misstyling. But yeah. Oh, quote. Okay, quote. Your journey and decisions aren't going to be approved or understood by everyone. Your path was meant for you. Those who haven't walked in your shoes couldn't fathom the resilience it's taken you to get to where you are now. Focusing on your progress will push you farther than waiting on someone's approval. Okay? So, um, the reason I picked this quote, right, is something I've really been battling with. When I moved to Georgia, a lot of people, well, actually, I mean, I can't say that there was one supporter I had to move to Georgia, right? I was 20 and they're like, oh, you have no money. I saved, but they were like, oh, you have no money. You don't know anyone out there, this and this and this, right? It had been something I had been really striving for so long, since I actually had gotten into college and when I was 18. Um, my whole goal was to move to Atlanta because Atlanta is the place. I'm from Indiana, and Atlanta was the place where I have researched and known that people go to be themselves, right? I grew up bisexual and having to hide it because the majority of the times when I did come out, I was either forced to and ridiculed in school, or very mean allegations toward me regarding it, right? And then it was just so homophobic, so racist too. I have so many racist experiences I can talk about sometime, maybe by request or whenever, right? Um, and Atlanta, is huge regarding diversity, regarding black success, right? Especially for women. And majority of my life, I've always been told I can only do certain things as a woman, and a lot of the things I had to relearn, unlearn actually, as an adult. And a lot of people didn't understand, especially when my dad passed. And my dad actually passed the day after I moved early to Atlanta, and that's a story I'll put on here shortly, right? But I became an adult orphan, and so yeah, more people, more of my family, right, were stating, "Oh, I need to come back. I need to come back." I had a cousin who tried to make me believe that she should be moving with me, and I was the one who got the apartment and everything, right? And I've had a lot of people in my head for so long telling me, like whether it's a partner, whether it's a stranger, right, online, right, whether it's just anyone telling me where I should be going in life and what I should be doing in order to be successful, right? People will always have opinions on what you should be doing with your life, where you should be going, but let me tell you something. Are those people who you are listening to, who you are stopping your life from going in that path, in that direction, who you are listening and not moving forward with what you want to do truly, are they helping you financially? If they are they helping you to a point to where if you lost everything because you lost everything because just in America shit happens, right? There's a fire at will law in Georgia. There's laws like that everywhere, right? You lose everything. Are they going to fully support you? Are they going to get up from what they're doing, get another job so that they can support you? No, right? Because everyone looks out for number one, right? If that same person who is giving you all this direction and stopping you, right, from doing what you want to do, they come up with all these reasons, right? And reasons valid or not, right? Um, are they listening to advice from you? And do you feel comfortable to even give that same type of advice for them to not pursue something they are interested in? Would they even listen? These are some really important questions because sometimes we tend to listen to people just because we love them. We tend to listen to people just because we're close to them. But just because we are close to them, just because they are family, just because they raised us, does not mean they know what is best for us. If you're religious, right, that is your higher being who would know truly, right? If you're spiritual, it's your intuition. What is truly best for me, right? Um, a lot of people like to play God. A lot of people do. A lot of people like to claim to know what is best, but they're referring to their own experiences. Don't let what someone couldn't do in their own life stop you from doing what you want to do in your life, right? Um, because they couldn't move to Georgia, because they couldn't move out of state when they wanted to, and they're twice my age or older, whatever. They're telling me that I can't, right? I will not say that it's been an easy road, but it's definitely been the best fucking thing for me ever. Like, I mean, definitely the worst regarding my dad passing away. He was my financial person. Um, and the closest person I was to anyone, period. Um, but I will say, years down the line, it's been almost 4 years now, and I will say that if I had stayed in the area I was in, I would have had people in my ear all the time telling me what to wear, how to feel, what direction to go in. I would have had so many people, so many families, so many friends who are not here to this day telling me what I need to be doing. A lot of people are going to be envious of you secretly. Whether or not they love you or not, they're going to be envious that you are doing something that they did not have the strength or willpower or courage to do. Again, did I lose? Hella. I lost my entire fucking life. But I have rebuilt it. And I feel so much better. I feel like I can finally speak my fucking truth and live the life that I deserve and I want to on my terms, right? Um, I'm also an advocate for sex workers, right? And for just owning your sexuality, taking it back. I've been in sexual assault. I've had sexual assault happen to me multiple times. I've been in domestic abuse situations, um, child abuse, just so many things. And at the end of the day, to sum this up, a lot of people will have something to say about the direction you're going in life or where you want to go in life, but very little will actually help you get to anywhere. Get to the place you want, really. Um, there will be more people who will congratulate you than people who will sacrifice $5 to put it towards something that you are needing toward your goal, or you know what I mean. Do you see what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, your path is your path, right? If we were all on the same path and all supposed to go in the same direction, then our lives would have been all the same. The women who are in sex work right now, most people know that one big thing about being in sex work is you do end up losing a lot of family. But for me, it's like when I told my family that I was doing, told family members I was doing pole dancing, right? It was, oh, you're a stripper? Oh, well, God wouldn't like this, and that. I haven't been Christian in years. And for me, it's very weird for someone to even bring it up at this point, because to me, it's like you're just trying to force your religion on me. I understand. Trust me, I know what you believe God would or would not like. But I do know that whatever relationship I have with God has no concern with you, you know? Again, people like to play God, so they like to tell you their interpretation of what is going to, what what would make you be considered a good, faithful God lover or whatever, and or the opposite, or demonize you, literally. Like, literally, there's no, it's just, you're either here or here, you know? And it's like, listen, you can have your opinion, but at the end of the day, I know that I'm a good person. I know that I'm always advocating for other people's mental health and safety and etc. I know that I do not have ill will toward other people. I know I don't use people. I know that I don't do a lot of things that people who claim to be religious do. Okay? And all they do is pray it away. So at the end of the day, I have my ears. I will say that. Yeah. My ears are definitely closed when it comes to people's opinion of me in ways that don't serve me truly. Um, Religion has definitely hurt me in a lot of different ways, and I'll speak on that too. Just growing up, just a lot of again, it's a lot of hypocrisy, right? It's bashing someone who is gay, but the person who physically abused, the person who raped, the person who, pedophilia, all things I've dealt with growing up, all of those are excused. That person is protected. That person just needs to believe in God. They just need to pray, right? But someone who loves someone consensually as an adult or the same age, that's what's going to get me. hmm Um, and it's definitely it's definitely taken me a lot of strength to be able to even speak my truth. Um, and I just know that regardless of what I do, I have to be around people who aren't going to pull me down to where they're at or try to put me into a box so that their life feels more comfortable, right? Um, your path was made for you. So at the end of the day, how are you going to listen to someone else who's on a different path? Everyone's on a different path. Um, Whether my path is to help uplift people who are in down places and the type of people who people often ignore, prostitutes, sex workers, um, those who have mental illnesses like me or not like me, right? Um, a lot of outcasts, right? A lot of people who are looked down on because we don't believe the same things as everyone else. We don't just follow the herd. Um, or we happen to have just been heavily stigmatized negatively, like the LGBT community, black people, etc. At the end of the day, I'm here to open people's eyes. I'm here to make a safe space for those who feel like all their life they've never had a safe space. They've always been told you need to go in this direction. Otherwise, we disown you. Otherwise, we don't support you. Otherwise, we don't love you. I'm done with unconditional love. I'm done with it. And I have definitely lived a very lonely life these past few years, a little bit, here and there, right? Because when you start to open your mind up, when you start to really heal your trauma, you do end up having to let go of people who only add to it or only try to put their trauma on you, right? So you have to follow your path. You have to do what is best for you because they're going to do what's best for them. Best believe that. They're going to make sure they're good even if you're not. So you need to do the same. Thanks. That was Miss Darling.